If you want to see me swatch the Sigma Untamed palette, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and yes, I am going to swatch the Sigma Untamed palette today, and I do have another one that I'm going to be swatching sooner than later on the channel, so watch out for that one. Spoiler, it is a very popular Sigma palette. But this is the one I'm swatching today, and the reason I wanted to swatch this one first is for two reasons. Not just one. It is the newest one as far as I know, and it has kind of taken the beauty community on YouTube by surprise because it's very different. And the second one is I am a lover of the Subculture palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills and wanted to see how this one fares because of course the Subculture is no longer available and the Untamed seems to be a reasonable option or alternative for anyone who missed out on the Subculture or who has finished their Subculture. And a few people I know have actually gone through most, if not all, of Subculture. And yeah, I want to see how this one fares. Now, one thing I do want to say right away from Sigma is I have to give kudos to the packaging. It's a black velvet experience. It's textured black velvet and cardboard, and I'm just really impressed by it. I really, really like it. As an effect, I didn't even realize. And it has a total of, more than I expected, 14 shadows, and it includes a double-ended brush. So let's open this box. And by the way, if you want to see how I came up with this look using the Elizabeth Arden Holiday Blockbuster set for 2020, I'll have it right there for you. The only thing I've done so far with this box is open the palette and check to make sure that there was no damage to the eyeshadows, and there wasn't. It came in pristine condition. And I waited until I was able to get free shipping because I'm in Canada and the shipping is about 20 bucks if I have to pay for it. So, and I ended up getting a reasonable discount on the palette as well. So on the inside, it does come with a plastic protector, but look at how nice it is. They really did a good job on the packaging, I have to say. On the inside, you get a mirror, quite a large mirror. It folds all the way back, which I love, and that is something that the Anastasia palettes do. The palette pan size is quite considerable. And apart from the blue, it does really have, actually I'll do this. That is very close to the Subculture palette, and there's a little bit of difference here with some cooler tones over on the other end. And the brush itself I'm really curious about, so it's a fluffy end and a more precision packer brush on the other side. And it's a good size brush, easy to handle for both sides, and it does look like it's pretty good quality, and even on the brush itself it shows you the names and numbers. Hopefully you can see. Come on, focus. The names and numbers of the two brush ends. That's nice. So if you want to get a backup or get the brushes that are not in a double-ended format, they give you the information you need. So far, Sigma, I'm impressed. This is really, really neat. Okay. So if I take a look at the palette itself, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, looks like 8 mattes. I'm not sure about whether or not this is a matte. It looks like a shimmer to me, but I don't know if it's just an overspray or something. And then we have 2, 4, 5, possibly 6 shimmers. Okay, I am inclined, because they do look like they're paired up, I'm inclined to swatch this way. Top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom. It just seems like they go together in a color story that's kind of stacked. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be swatching with these fingers and swatching onto this arm, and hopefully 14 shadows should fit on this one arm. So we are going to give it a go. And yeah, let's get to swatching. And I think I'm going to do 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here are the first 4 fingers. And I will be double swatching everything. So here's the first one. Very lackluster, but it is a white matte, and white mattes do take a little bit more building up. Now the black seems pretty solid. That's good. So the whitish, it's sort of a whitish beige, is called Docile. The black is called Wicked, and this one is called Spirit. Don't know why I wasn't giving you the names. And then this next one is Instinct. A nice kind of dusty rose, I think. But it did not swatch all that well, but it is the pinky, so we'll see. We'll build it up. So what looked like a white because of my ring light, it's more of a cream color. So Docile is kind of a cream color. Okay, that's showing up a little bit better. And Wicked. Oh yeah, that's not a bad swatch. And then we have Spirit, which looks like it kind of has a white base. It's a pinky peach by what I can see. And then here, let's see if we can build it up, Instinct. And I am a sucker for Dusty Rose. I really do like Dusty Rose. Not big on cool colors so much, but Dusty Rose just gets me. And there seems to be a little bit more plum in it too. And just because it's the pinky, I'm going to go in with that last one more time. Don't know why Instinct doesn't feel like the right name for this one. Not sure. Maybe it's supposed to be based on the fact that a nose tends to be kind of pink. Instinct? Smell? I don't know. Trying to find the correlation. Oh yeah, look at that black, right? That is a very nice addition to the palette. Actually, these two just really increase the versatility of the palette. I'm really happy that those are in this palette. Okay, I just cleaned my fingers off and we're going into this next quad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm really excited about this one big time. So we're going to do the first 2 fingers, top, bottom, and then the kind of it's almost like gold with a little olive green in it. Oh gosh, it's beautiful. And then more of a forest green, like between a forest green and a khaki. Look at that color. I know I'm going to love that one. My goodness. Okay, so we have Feral. Kind of a terracotta color. And then we have Rebel. I know I'm going to like this one. Oh, yes. I have green eyes. That is a perfect color right there. I like that. Rebel. And then we have Envy, which I really like as a name. Very, very nice. And let's see how it goes with Camouflage, which I think is a very nice name for this one. It's a matte, it's crumbly. And it's with the pinky, which is not terrific. Okay, so let's do those a second time. I am really liking all of these. I'm not liking the pinky, but that's also not a great swatching finger. Okay. I wanted to use all 4 fingers because I wanted to do the stacks together. And I hope I'm not making a mistake. Okay, so let's do those again. Picked up better, I think, this time. All right, so we have Feral. Rebel, which I'm sure is going to look, oh, gosh, it's beautiful. Wow. Next is Envy. And Camouflage. or flage, depending on your accent. Okay, that built up beautifully. Very, very nice. So it didn't drag all the way down, but it didn't have as much product on the pinky as everything else. But look, it does drag down. It does blend relatively well by kind of going back and forth with the matte. And that looks like it can be deep enough to act as a deepener shade as well. I like all of these. This is my quad. Out of the whole palette, I think this is my preference right there. I really, really like that quad. But it has some stiff competition because there's a couple of colors coming up that I'm really fond of. So we'll see what happens. Okay, and I think I've got enough room for those last 6. So we are going to do, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do these 2 on their own and then finish with this quad because I think the pinky will handle this color better than it would this one. So I'm just going to be a little strategic about this. Now this one looks like a gold. Not quite a gold, but close. And then we have kind of a mustardy yellow. So I'm just going to do these 2 fingers. And we have Hustle. Good name for that color. Hustle. I kind of wish it were a gold though. But I guess Envy is close. And then we have Boho. Okay, let me go in a second time. They're a good match. Really, they stacked the matches really well. I like the way this palette is organized. It's okay when a palette is chaotic to show kind of groupings, but I really do like how orderly this one is. Let me create the chaos. Okay, here we go. All right, not bad at all. Although those colors I would expect a brand to be able to produce pretty easily. They're not out there colors. But now we have the last 4, which I have to say, these 2 make me think of the Enchanted palette. I hope it's not duplication. And then the blue, I'm kind of like, meh, I'm not big on blue. So I have to say it's more this that got me to want the palette than this, and then least interesting to me is the last column. So I have preferences. What do you want me to say? Okay. Kind of curious about this one. There's a purple vibe to it, then a nice beige matte, and then a very metallic blue. Okay, let's see what we're dealing with here. So the first one here is Moxie. So different from the other colors. This one is Fierce. I'm liking this one. It's kind of a boudoir color. It's quite pretty. Take that back. Okay, Loyal. And Dauntless? Yeah, Dauntless. That is not a name I would ever have picked for a color. Dauntless. That does look interesting, but it needs a second swatch. And the fingers. Okay, here's the second set of fingers. Second set of swatches, I guess. So Moxie did surprise me in a good way. It has more sheen than I thought it would. Now this next one, Fierce, makes me think of my nail polish. It's not that different. And then we have the last matte, which is Loyal. Let's see if I can spread that out. Now that looks like a great transition color. And then we have Dauntless. Now I might like this on the lower lash line, I don't know. Okay, and the fingers. Now, as I wipe my fingers, let's move on to talking about the color story and the swatches and whether I have any differences in how I perceived the palette initially and how I view it now. So let's just take a look at the palette one last time here. Okay, and the swatches. The swatches do look like they're quite true to color in the pan, which is nice. And there are a few bells of the ball here for my preferences, right? It's just my preferences. Rebel is fantastic, as is Envy. I also like Camouflage. I really love Moxie and Fierce more than I thought I would. And then as far as mattes go, I talked about Rebel, but I have to say that Instinct and Loyal are also very, very nice colors that I know I would have no trouble using whatsoever. Now for this palette, there are a few shades that I really don't care whether they're in the palette or not. And I'm going to say this one, which is Feral, don't care. I also don't care about the blue. And I don't care about the mustardy yellow. So those could be out of the palette and I would not think much differently about the palette. The blue is kind of weird to me. Yeah, the blue is kind of weird to me. And I've just never been big on rusty colored orangey browns. So yeah, I'm just not really big on those. And the mustard yellow is just not my thing. The green gets a pass because I can see so well how I would use it with this one and how I could pair it with other neutrals that are in this palette. But overall, am I impressed with the color story? Absolutely. There's a lot in here that is great. And again, I really appreciate the cream color and the black as being included in this palette. And I'm really looking forward to doing an eye look with this palette. Well, not just one. I can see so many combinations that I want to try that it will not be a problem to do a bunch of looks. And the color story is varied enough that you can really do completely different looks with this palette. It's not a one-trick pony. There's so much that I could do with this palette. And I'm looking forward to playing with it. And I also am looking forward to trying the Sigma brand. I mean, a number of YouTubers that I watch and respect here on this platform do like Sigma palettes, and I trust their judgment based on what else they have in their collection. And so I'm looking forward to experiencing the Sigma brand, both for the brush and the double-ended brush and the palette, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But if the swatches are any indication, I think I'm in for a fun time. If you have any suggestions for me regarding this Untamed palette, please let me know. If you have some suggestions for first look, if you have requests for first look, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. And with that, I will say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.